to write about Chinese pandas, but I had never seen a Chinese panda before in my life. So I was so mesmerized finally when I was taken by some of my Chinese friends to the Beijing Zoo to see the panda for myself in real life. It was such an interesting day for me and always memorable. So this is always one of the first impressions that I get, that I can be able to see for myself with my own eyes some of the things that I was just reading about or hearing about. Now I can see for myself here in China by visiting so many different places around and talking and sharing with so many of my other Chinese friends.
I know you are the princess in Uganda, and what's the difference between your country and here?
China is full of a rich cultural heritage, just like Africa. Even though we are different sometimes in so many different things, I can say we share so many similarities as well. It's just starting off with that in the terms of cultural experience. Chinese people love and appreciate their culture. Just like African people, we too love and appreciate our culture. The differences are also there as well, but I would love so much to share more on what I have seen here that I like in China. I like how the rich cultural heritage has been preserved. If you visit so many of these different places, like the Forbidden City, you will see how the history of the royal emperors has been preserved. You can get to see how they stayed in this place. If you go to the Summer Palace, you will see this, to the Great Wall. So many of these places, you will see for yourself the history that has made China to be what it is. Even in the terms of its political history, you can visit so many of these museums, and even the places themselves, they're still there. You can get to see about the leadership up to now and how it has have been able to overcome poverty and rural revitalization. If you visit so many of these places across China, you can be mesmerized and you can see all this rich history. So that is one thing that I really appreciate to see for myself here in China. And what makes it unique, this is what makes China unique, being able to cherish and keep all this from the rest. I'm also interested when I've seen some of China is the food. Food is something that you have to experience yourself. China, just like Africa, is have so many different tribes and groupings of people, and each one of them have their own way of cooking and making their own delicacies. When you visit the southern China, eastern China, you can see for yourself the difference in all this. I love so much to eat the food from Sichuan. It's so spicy and very nice. So you can get to taste all of this, the spicy noodles, you can eat them. You can eat some of this stir-fried rice, chow fan, mi fan. All this, it's really nice. I also love to eat the dumplings, jiaozi. It's so very delicious. So this is all different rich aspects of China. But most importantly is its people, the Chinese people that will make China. Just like I was saying before, they come from the different groups, but they have come together to unify and to make China what it is as a strong nation. Always say to many people that African people too can learn from Chinese people in the sense of their hard work. African people too are hardworking, and Chinese people too are hardworking. African people, in the sense, can learn from it is working hard with the passion and commitment to build Africa as strong. Chinese people work hard with that passion and patriotism to build China as a great nation. So this is always something that I admire from Chinese people when they work hard with that in mind, that they are building China to be strong. Please tell me what else.
What do you like to do in your spare time? You can tell me more about your hobby, your habits.
I have so many things I love doing in my free time. I love talking, interacting with my friends and people that I meet around that want to talk with me and share my experience and their experiences. I love to talk and to interact with people. I also love to visit different places, just like here in China, especially in the summer. I also love to share African culture with my Chinese friends at some other functions that we hold, like festivals. I love this. I have with some friends, we have some crafts that we make so we can showcase them and also sell them if possible. So this is it. And dancing and eating as well.
Wow, it's so cool. If one day I go to your hometown, Uganda, what kinds of food would you to recommend to me, and why?
If you come to my hometown,
Yeah,
definitely you have to eat green banana. We call it matoke.
turkey.
Yes, matoke. It is cooked by steaming the green banana in a banana leaf, and then we serve it with some meat stew and some vegetables. And if you eat it, it's really very delicious, and it's a taste that you cannot find anywhere. It's one of a kind. So you definitely have to eat this. But if you are on the streets, you can also try out some street foods. We have something that in Uganda we call it a Rolex, but not the Rolex watch.
Okay.
Rolex food. So Rolex food is a chapati. If you don't know what a chapati is, kind of like wheat bread, fried wheat bread.
Yeah.
And with that chapati, we put in a fried egg inside. We put in some cabbage, some fried cabbage, put in some tomatoes inside, and then you roll it together. So that's how it gets its name, Rolex, because it's it's eggs that are rolled together in a chapati. So that's why it's called Rolex. So yeah, if you eat this, it's also very delicious. It's street food and it's very satisfying. You will be satisfied for the rest of your day. Yeah, so you have to try this. And Ugandan people, like Chinese people, love to drink a lot of tea and coffee. So we will definitely also enjoy to taste lots of Ugandan tea and coffee.
Oh, it sounds great. You refer to the the Rolex. Does it this one like the sandwich?
Yeah, yes.
It's kinds of the sandwich here.
Yeah. I've seen it before here, but it's not really like that, but it's kind of close.
Because I studied in British before when I studied here, and people just like the jacket potato.
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah, you know the jacket potato.
Yeah.
People steam the potato and then just wag it, jug
Yeah.
potato and put the meat or some this one into this one, and we call that the jacket potato. I've been there to eat just once. It's so delicious because we in China we didn't eat it
Yeah,
first
yeah.
to there, and like the sandwich and the fish and chips is very delicious. I like the Western food.
Sure, you're truly so right. One way to enjoy and experience a culture is through the taste, through eating the different foods. So when you experience that, you definitely feel like you've had a taste of that culture, of that country. And so it's really so awesome.
Have you tried to cook the Rolex in China and share
Yeah.
with your friends, your roommates?
Yes, I have. I always looking forward to such times, especially like Christmas time, some New Year's time, when we always can gather together and eat together food from different countries. So yeah, I'm excited. This Christmas, yeah, we should maybe gather and do something. And you can come to your welcome.
I think the Chinese people will enjoy and satisfy with the taste. Have you ever make the tea or drink tea in China? And how do you like your tea, the strong or the weak?
Oh yeah, I do love to drink different types of tea in Uganda. It makes me feel so happy. I love to drink Chinese tea. I have so many different types that I enjoy and drink in different seasons, like in the summer, in the winter. So I love this, but I can say that my favorite is black tea. I love this tea. I prefer the stronger tea. The stronger tea taste. I really I like them, especially in the colder seasons like now. When I drink it, I feel it's bring warmth to my body and gives me some much more energy. So I love this. But in the summer when it's hotter, I can also drink the jasmine tea, some other trees that are lighter, moringas. So I can help my body to cool down, to feel more refreshed.
Okay, I want to introduce about our Chinese Gongfu tea. It's the traditional culture. You know, Chinese tea culture is rooted deep in tradition, family, daily life, and it's also a tradition to make a cup of tea after dinner because it helps us with digestion better than coffee. While there are endless different kinds of tea, and there are also different ways to storing them, and we have a record history of the tea of 3,000 years. So tea drinking is a fundamental part of Chinese culture. And you may have heard many kinds of tea. Yeah, you just referred to the black tea is your favorite. But in generally speaking, we can divide it into 6 categories according to their degree of the fermentation and comprehensive method. And they are green tea, black tea, oolong tea, dark tea, white tea, and yellow tea. The green tea is not the fermented. Representative types are Longjing tea from Hangzhou Xihu, Biluochun tea from the Suzhou Taihu. Do you know?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one is the black tea, is your favorite. Black tea requires fermentation, is dark red and tastes more sweet. Like the Qimen black tea in Anhui is the most famous variety. And next one is the oolong tea, has the sweet taste of black tea and the sign of green tea. Dongding oolong from Wuyi tea is from Fujian, is more very popular in the oolong tea. And the last unfermented tea is called green tea. The green tea not need the hot water to drink it. That's the 6 categories of the tea. And next, after we're talking about this tea, we can go for most people are concerned this one. Recently, the World Cup has opened. Did you watch the opening ceremony?
Yes, I did. I had a chance to watch some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me more about the World Cup and which the football star or which you can predict the winning team.
Oh,
It's so cool.
I think right now maybe a bit too early for me to predict. I need to maybe watch a bit more, and I will put into consideration my thoughts. But I always love these football games because they're a chance to bring the world together, especially now at this time when we have so many divisions in the world and so many countries against one another or taking preference for another country over football is something that can bring us together. And coming from Africa, I'm rooting for African teams. I hope that and pray this time we will have more success, more victory there at the games than before. I really love the opening. It's so colorful, so exciting with the people singing and showing their excitement and patriotism for the teams of their countries and even those that they're just supporting from other countries. So it's really so nice to just see everyone fascinated and together for something that is positive. Is just so nice. I cannot predict, like I told you, my winners, but personally, the teams that I love Senegal, I love Ghana, Cameroon, Out of the African continent, I think I will go with people on the pitch and to relieve your mind of some stress.
Okay, so cool. Will you watch the football game tonight?
I will not watch every day, but I will follow news. I will at least follow some highlights. Yeah, find out what is happening. See, okay, who won, who lost, who is at the top of the league. So it's just what I will follow. But I'm maybe not that much devoted that I will sit down to watch the full matches. No. But when Senegal is playing, I think I will sit and maybe watch half the match.
Okay, maybe you are in the exam now. You have to prepare your your exam, and you don't have enough
I love aside from my country, I think I love Senegal as a country.
Just now we talk about many topics about your hobbies and Chinese tea, even the World Cup. And now, can you share something experience during in China? Because from the social media, why do you study this major and how does it affect you?
I can say education is key for me, especially because I'm somebody who likes to interact with people of different cultures and different backgrounds. So that is why I chose to study this major of international communications. So I could be able to understand people from different cultures, from different races, their thinking, their ideologies, their philosophies. So it was eye-opening to me to learn this course, and also having my classmates from different parts of the world. Everyone was sharing politics work in their country, how this social system is in their country. Even Chinese colleagues were sharing how different China is in terms of politics, in terms of how people do things. So it's good if we do not learn from this, then we cannot know about other people. We can just always be blaming them and not at peace because we do not know why they do the things that they do. But if we study about them, then we can understand each other. And by understanding other people, then we also understand ourselves in the line because oh, this person does this and or did I do this, so and come to a better understanding of myself. And in that way, we can live more at peace and at unity with one another. So that is my choice for studying.
According to your social media, I found that you have participated in many activities such as World Young's Development Forum. And since you came to China, just to tell me, share your experience and your feelings or your gains among these forums.
Being here, we've had and I've had personally as other youth a chance to attend and share our experiences as youth who are studying in China. So as an African youth, visit some areas in China that overcome poverty. We visit in Shanxi province, some of the rural villages there, and we're able to see the effects that the government of China did to uplift the people out of poverty. So these lessons are very good to learn for me, for people who are young leaders like me, to go back to Africa with, so we can also put in place similar strategies to help people to be out of poverty. Many African communities are still very rural. The people are not yet uplifted out of poverty. But from seeing these examples in China, like how they've been able to use agriculture to help themselves be transformed from poverty, and how they're doing industrialization and using digital platforms to sell their products. So this knowledge, we can also use it back home to help people to be able to find market for their products, and also have cooperation with other Chinese companies so they can have more market for their products. They can have more knowledge how they can make better quality products, and also find more employment opportunities and education opportunities for those who are still in school, the other younger students. So these are some of the things that I have seen and we have gotten to see from moving in China. But aside from China in itself, some forums have been at a global platform where it's not about China-Africa exchange, but it's been globally as youth of the world coming together. Like we were talking before, right now the world is so divided. There's so much war, economic recess, also the effects of the climate change affecting everywhere. So as young people, when we come together, we can think about this. What can be our impact? What can we do? How can we put our minds together and our hearts into finding ways of solving the global issues, to solve these issues? We too can find solutions as young people. Because the future is capable. We as the future leaders, we are capable of also solving the situation. So we cannot only just say it's a problem that the government.
I remember you stayed in China for 3 years. Now, during this period, what is impressed you the most?
I think I am most impressed currently by China's ability to keep people safe and stable. I remember when I had just come to China, I was also greatly fascinated by the transportation system. I remember my first times to experience going on the subway, in the train, as something that was so pleasant, such a pleasant experience for me. You can see with technology how so fast and so easy it is to move from one place to another. Using the high-speed train is just wow, so very convenient and so very fast. This is my one fascination that I have seen. Also, the road network is also impressive, and it's I can say China also doing a lot of these projects in my home country and in African continent at large. A lot of the road infrastructure is done by the Chinese companies, and like in Kenya, they have put up already the railway network, which is going to just connect the whole East Africa, and this helps with trade. It helps with trade a lot because the traders can move and their merchandise very easy. So this, I will say for now, this too is most fascinating to me.
Okay. I remember you stayed in China for 3 years from
Yes.
2019. And what's your greatest gain in China during the 3 years? Maybe
My greatest gain is the experience.
the greatest gain or your feelings.
Yes, it's to have that experience because I do not have the experience of China before I come here. I can know China from reading about it, from watching about it, but I do not have that experience to live in China, to be with Chinese people. So that to me, even when I finally will leave China, will be my greatest memory, my greatest achievement is to have that experience of China. Because even for people who write and say so many things about China, many they say these things because they do not have that experience. They have not been here, so they can say what they know in their mind, but they have not been here. If they had a chance to be here, then their view would be different about China. So for me, it's having that experience that will be something that is my most achievement, something that I will remember the most.
When do you graduate?
I hope in 2 years, if I have to work very hard.
What's your planning or what's your goal in the future? Maybe you want to stay in China, or after graduating, you want to go back to your hometown?
As we say, the future is a plan that we can think of, but it's the final word is up to God to determine what will happen in the future. But yes, I would love to go back to my home country. I would still love to work as someone who's promoting the stories and relationship between China and Africa. So that is something that I look forward to, whether I'm in China or out of it. It's something that I love to do with myself. And as someone also who have had that experience, I need to be able to share my stories, my experience to other people so they can also see for themselves and in turn also come and see for themselves what China is like. If we do not share stories, then people cannot come to also see for themselves what's here. So that's something that I look forward to. I also feel touched to do projects in Africa about rural poverty, dealing with rural poverty and rural revitalization. So I would love to do this. Yeah.
If you could choose one aspect of Chinese culture, like the food, the clothes, the culture, and to showcase your Africa friends, what would that be?
There's so much I would show them. Yeah, there's so much we talk about. Like we've been talking about tea. Maybe I would have some tea, maybe some food.
Yeah.
Clothing is also good. Yes, clothing. There's also language. It's just so much that we could do. I could think of so many ideas. Yeah.
What kind of the food you want to showcase your friends?
I would choose some Sichuan food, some Sichuan style food, some spicy noodles.
Oh, spicy. You mentioned before.
Yeah.
Apart from the food, how about the environment or the hobbies or the culture, like the Spring Festival or some the special?
Yeah, that's also another great idea. We could also share about that to them. I'm sure they would enjoy that aspect as well. Chinese New Year is another special time in China that everyone always looking forward to. So it's always it would be so nice to share to people because we do not have that unique. It's unique to China. So yeah, I also love that idea. Chinese New Year.
China has more the huge treasure in here. And next, we want to talk more about the poverty reduction. How do you think China experience in poverty reduction?
I think a lot of what China has been able to achieve in poverty reduction has come from the efforts that have been put up by the government. Came up with very concrete plans to end poverty before 2021, and they achieved in this. What they mostly did was identifying ways that they would uplift people who are in the villages, people who are in the rural sides of China out of poverty, because a lot of these areas have some kind of activities that they are doing that could be unique to that area and could uplift them out of poverty. For instance, some areas are good at agriculture, but some areas are good for tourism. So the government plans involved strengthening these aspects of these societies. For the farmers, how could they find ways to help them to market their products, not only within their communities, but at a national and international level, so they would find and get more money out of their crops and food. And then on the side of those who are into tourism, how can they support them to make money out of those places? So such as like in putting up hotels that are up to international level, resorts and entertainment parks and all this. So it's what the government did, and it was a large success. It's been a large success up to now. The people are uplifted, and so many of the people that come to visit China, they can now also go there. The foreigners can go and they can now find places that are up to world class, to stay there, and they pay, and this revenue the people can use it to be uplifted out of poverty. Same things from also the places that we visited that were uplifted out of poverty. They found ways of selling these products digitally. If you will see like on Taobao or Pinduoduo, you can access, even if you are in Beijing, you can order something that have come from the rural side of China. You do not need to go there physically to buy it for yourself, but you can order and then you will get like some of these packed fruit juices, maybe flour, rice. And when you're buying them, you are supporting the farmers who are based in those rural sites. So I remember it was so fascinating to be there. You could see them live streaming. They're also very popular. They they live stream and they sell those products, and people buy out in a few hours. All the output has been bought out. So this is creative, finding digital solutions as marketing to products, but through technology, through these digital means, people can order and you just send to them your things online and they will receive it and pay. So they can get money, and with this money, they build better homes. They can be able to have better health care. They can be able to go about their own necessities without having to rely on anybody to support them. It's really, I can say, this is how the government has done it. This is how the government has supported people to realize this dream of alleviating poverty. Yeah, it's through the government support. Through the government support, yeah, the leaders have been supportive. So each of the villages have leaders who come from government. They listen to the people. They listen to them, to their problems, what challenges they have, and they are addressed. This also helps them that they can have somebody who's listening to them and giving them solutions to the problems that they are facing.
Okay. How do you think of China and Africa friendship?
Africa and China friendship continue to improve and be successful over the years, especially with more commitment and where the Africa-China friendship stands and cooperation. So I can say it is strong and it's something that is very, very beneficial to Africa.
What's your planning, or what would you want to say to the new year? Because 2023 is coming.
And say them that 2023 will be the best year that they will ever have. Yeah, they will realize their dreams and achieve so much success. And I can wish them a lot of good health, a lot of good fortune, and all the blessings.
That's it?
Yeah, it's the summary. I miss them too. I miss them.